Okay, just go through your syllabus, prepare your answers. Actually, what we believe is that if we know the concept, if we know about our what is happening in our economy, in our society, in our every sphere, if we know the current events, because see, basically questions, only one or two questions will come from the current affairs portion, and basically static questions come. So if we can cover our syllabus, if we can have a thorough study of our entire syllabus, then we can hopefully write the answers there. Because see, in prelims it might happen that you don't know the answer. Out of the four options you might not know the correct answer, but in mains you will know the answer, and you know the answer, but the main thing is how you will present the answer. The main thing is there in that in mains. Some of you have previously also appeared in mains, so you might be knowing. So in mains, the it depends upon style of writing the answer, because the answer is known by every candidate. Everyone knows what will be the answer of these questions, but it will depend upon how you present it. So this is the main funda in mains answer writing. So the more you will practice, the more you will earn. Matlab, more you will be comfortable with the in writing the answers, because in mains it's, and there is time constraint, and there are more questions to be attempted, and we have to write there because yeah, for answering a question of 10 marks or 15 marks, so you need time. So today what I did, I thought as your exam is approaching, I thought of discussing the previous year papers of mains.
Yes, madam.
So the economics part I will be discussing for your from your GS2 paper, and the economics, the part of the Orissa economics. There are some questions based on Orissa economics. So these will be discussed by Shankar sir. Okay. So the Indian economy part I will be discussing with you all. So
Yes, madam.
today I brought up 4 or 5 questions from the paper of 2019. There are 10 questions on economics in 2019, and for discussions today I pick up 5 questions out of 10. So what I feel, if we can discuss the papers of the previous years for at least last 5 6 years, then there is sure of getting at least 2 3 questions common, and you will be also getting a view that questions from which part actually questions come. And while going through the papers, what I found, the main most of the questions come from the planning section, planning part, and this reform part, economic reforms. So I took the questions from the your this one from the previous year, that is from 2019. So you see, the very first questions I took is questions on the planning from the chapter Planning of India. You see, a question came in 2019 that 5 year plans in India have failed to achieve a considerable rise in standard of living of people in general and to provide a more egalitarian society in particular. Now, the very first thing we need to
Madam,
understand, yeah,
madam, madam, in this slide it is not showing. Yeah, okay, madam.
it's
Now,
not it's not
okay.
coming.
Yeah. Yes, yes, madam.
Okay, okay, let's see. Now, is it visible?
Yes, madam, clearly visible.
Okay. So you can see this is a question taken from 2000 paper of 2019 from the GS2 paper. So you see here actually very first thing is we need to understand the question. Actually what the question is asking. इस क्वेश्चन को जब आप लोग पढ़ोगे तो आप लोग को मतलब पहले समझना होगा कि क्वेश्चन कैसा आंसर मांग रहा है क्वेश्चन. ऐसे तो प्लानिंग सबको पता है कि 5 ईयर प्लानिंग्स क्या है, क्यों लाया गया था, कैसे लाया गया था, कौन सा ईयर में लाया गया था, कितना प्लानिंग क्या, एंड व्हाट आर द टारगेट्स एंड व्हाट आर द अचीवमेंट्स. लेकिन here the question is asking that 5 year plans have failed to achieve a considerable rise in the standard of living of people. So, in answering this question, if we go on writing the failures of 5 year plan, अगर आप गूगल में सर्च करते हो या बुक्स में देखते हो तो आप लोग को 5 ईयर प्लानिंग का फेलियर्स मिल जाएगा. If you search in Google or you go through your books, you will be getting the failures of planning there. But here the question asks actually 5 year planning has failed to achieve a considerable rise in the standard of living of people. And this question was repeated. I forgot actually, this question came in 2015 also, I suppose. So this question got repeated 2 or 3 times. When I analyzed the paper of last 6 years, what I found, this question got repeated 2 or 3 times. So you see here the question asks that 5 year plan has failed to achieve a considerable rise in the standard of living of people. Now, while answering these questions, very first part you have to give the introduction. In the introduction part, what you need to write is what is 5 year plan. ज्यादा नहीं लिखना है, सिर्फ पूरा जैसे आपको बुक में जो लिखा है 5 ईयर प्लानिंग क्या है वही आप लिखो. What is 5 year planning and when started with what objectives? Here I have given. See, what is 5 year planning, when started, and its objectives. So, see, while framing the answer in the very first paragraph, you will be giving your the introduction of the answer. As you will see, while writing an essay also, what we do, we give introduction in the very first part, and in the body of the essay, we discuss the topic, and in the conclusion part, we conclude with some views from ourselves also, from taken from the society or from the other facts also. सो ऐसे ही अगर जब आंसर हम लोग लिखेंगे मेंस में, हम लोग क्या करेंगे, किसी सा भी क्वेश्चन हो जिसके ऊपर क्वेश्चन आए, पहले हम लोग इंट्रोडक्शन देंगे. यहाँ पे 5 ईयर प्लान्स के बारे में बात किया गया है, तो वी विल राइट समथिंग अपॉन 5 ईयर प्लान्स. क्लियर? इन द वेरी फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ. इज इट क्लियर?
Yes, madam.
हाँ, तो हम लोग लिखेंगे, यहाँ पे मैंने नहीं दिया है, आप लोग अब इस आंसर का आंसर्स मैंने दे दिया है यहाँ पे, लेकिन इस आंसर आप लोग एक कॉपी में खुद से बना लेना, अपनी हैंड राइटिंग से खुद से बना लेना इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर, क्योंकि दिस क्वेश्चन वाज रिपीटेड and there is very much chance of coming this question again in this year also. So you see, introduction.
Ma'am,
Yeah,
yeah, ma'am, I would like to add some point.
yeah,
Like,
sure.
for example, the egalitarian objective of that
Yeah,
first 5 year plan.
yeah.
I think that's talking about the equality,
Equality. Yeah,
because the upper class, upper caste,
yeah,
capitalist
yeah,
class, they have like rose, but BPL line is constantly declined.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that was one of main reason that like it was not achieved its objective.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
the
definitely.
economic growth rate was positive.
Yeah,
But the
although the growth
economic,
rate was
yeah,
yeah, growth rate was positive during the planning, but then the actual main objectives, that is
yes, ma'am.
achieving a egalitarian society, improving the standard
It,
of
it,
living.
it, utopian society. To
हाँ हाँ
imagine
तो
a utopian society.
हाँ, so these objectives were not achieved actually. So while writing the answer in the very first paragraph, what you will do, you will give the introduction. Introduction में आप लोग क्या लिखोगे कि what is 5 year planning, when started, and its objectives. थोड़ा बहुत ऐसे आप पहला मतलब फर्स्ट पैराग्राफ आप लिख देना ऐसे करके कि प्लानिंग क्या है, कब शुरू किया गया था, एंड व्हाट वाज इट्स ऑब्जेक्टिव्स. In the second paragraph, I have given here in the answer, in the second paragraph, what you will do is In the second paragraph, you will write all the 5 year plans of India aimed at raising the standard of living of the people, but the indicators of raised standard of living, such as poverty rate, high GDP, affordable access to quality healthcare, quality and availability of education, class disparity could not be achieved as expected, which we can elucidate through the following points. क्योंकि हम लोग को बोला गया है यहाँ पे कि 5 year plan has failed to achieve standard of living, the rise standard of living. So our answer will be to the point of standard of living. हम लोग यहाँ पे स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग का एक पार्ट पॉवर्टी भी है, एजुकेशन भी है, एम्प्लॉयमेंट भी है, सब कुछ है, लेकिन हम लोग स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग के बारे में पॉइंट करके आंसर लिखेंगे यहाँ पे, क्योंकि हम लोग को यहाँ पे पूछा गया है कि स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग अचीव नहीं किया गया है प्लानिंग दौरान. सो अब देखिए, स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग अगर इम्प्रूव होना है आदमी का, एक सोसाइटी का अगर स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग इम्प्रूव होना है तो वेरी फर्स्ट वहां से गरीबी हटाना पड़ेगा, तभी तो स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग इंक्रीज होगा. यहाँ अगर हम लोग पॉवर्टी को वहां से हटा दे, मतलब एक सोसाइटी में पॉवर्टी हटा दे, तो वहां पे स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग खुद ब खुद बढ़ जाएगा. सो व्हाई डियर वाइज आई हैव गिवन दिस सेकंड पैराग्राफ ऑफ द आंसर. यहाँ पे मैंने लिखा all the 5 year plans of India aimed at raising the standard of living of the people, but the indicators of raised standard of living, these are the indicators: poverty rate, high GDP, affordable access to, all these could not be achieved. क्यों नहीं किया गया, हम लोग को कुछ डाटा देके बताना है, क्योंकि देखिए आंसर्स मैंने बताया ना, आंसर्स आर नोन टू एवरीवन, बट इट डिपेंड्स how you present it. So when you give some data there in writing an answer in mains, the quality of your answer becomes more, increases, the quality of your answer increases. So the very first point I took here is poverty rate. You see, in India 26% of population still lives much below the poverty line. So I have given a data 26%. So जब ये हम लोग आंसर, एग्जामिनर अगर ये आंसर जब पढ़ेंगे, एग्जामिन मतलब जब पेपर चेक करते हैं वो लोग, तो वो लोग जब ये आंसर्स पढ़ेंगे तो उन लोग को लगेगा कि 26% तो लिख दिया, ऐसे तो नहीं लिखा होगा. द स्टूडेंट might be knowing, the student has a depth study of how what is the rate of poverty in India, and the examiner will also come to know about the fact that 26% of population still lives much below the poverty line. So in this way he will get impressed actually while examining the answer. So there, that is why in the answers of economics we should मतलब हम लोग को ट्राई करना चाहिए कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा हम डाटा प्रेजेंट करें. So you see here what have been written: even after 55 years of planning, poverty alleviation program has not met with much success. यहाँ पे देखिए तेंदुलकर कमेटी, there are two committees on poverty. One is Rangaranjan committee, one is Tendulkar committee, and the latest one is the Tendulkar committee. So I have took the data of Tendulkar committee. So according to Tendulkar committee method, 37.2% of people were living in poverty. So यहाँ पे देखिए मैंने ज्यादा कुछ नहीं लिखा पोवर्टी रेट के ऊपर, मैंने सिर्फ इतना ही लिया कि इंडिया का कितना परसेंट पॉपुलेशन पोवर्टी में है एंड व्हाट इज द रिपोर्ट ऑफ टेंडुलकर कमेटी. सो यू सी दिस इज व्हाट इज द वेरी फर्स्ट पॉइंट, मतलब स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग इंक्रीज नहीं हुआ. क्यों नहीं हुआ? दिस इज द रीजन, because you see this is the population, percentage of population is still in poverty. Now you see the second point I took is per capita availability of food. So do you all know any idea about what is per capita availability? Do you know what is per capita income? Anyone?
Yes, madam.
Yeah.
The national
So-
income and the population of that nation.
Yeah, very good. So that is the thing, per capita, the concept of per capita income and the per capita availability of food is the same concept. मतलब देखिए पर कैपिटा अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ फूड, अगर हम लोग इंडिया में सभी को खाना मिले जितना मिलना चाहिए, तभी स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग इंक्रीज हो जाएगा. बेगरी नहीं रहेगा, तो एक सोसाइटी का स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग, अगर एक सोसाइटी ऐसा है कि वहां पे बेगरी नहीं है, किसी को भूख से मरना नहीं पड़ेगा, भूखा नहीं रहेगा किसी भी, एंड न्यूट्रिशन भी मिलना चाहिए, खाना खा के जितना कैलोरीज जितना न्यूट्रिशन चाहिए अगर मिलता है, तो basically that society is standard of living also increases. So you see per capita availability. Again, here is I put some data. A normal healthy person needs 2,508 calorie of food per day. But in India, per capita availability of food is 2,400 calories. So you see, there is a deficient. इंडिया को इंडिया में जितना होना चाहिए मतलब जितना खाना मिलना चाहिए उतना नहीं मिल रहा है इंडिया की पॉपुलेशन को. So this is also an indicator that the standard of living is not raising. Am I clear up to this point?
Yes, ma'am. I think internationally,
Yeah.
the definition of poverty is like a person earning like 2 point, I think $5 less than $5 per a day is declared as poverty. Like monthly, it's around 3,000
Okay.
rupees.
So you
In-
can also put this type of data in your answer also. Okay, so there is nothing negative or this kind of thing. You can put the more you can put data, the answer will become more qualitative. The third point is low per capita income. You see, I have just asked you what is per capita income. You all know what is per capita income. So per capita income is again low. So these are the, because you see when income increases, then only your standard of living will increase. So per capita income is also low here. Now again the third point I took is failure to provide employment to the growing labor force. You see, our population is growing day by day. Population is increasing. The more the population is increasing, the more unemployment is rising. Labor force is also increasing. So अगर हम लोग जितना पॉपुलेशन बढ़ेगा उतना लेबर फोर्स बढ़ जाएगा इकोनॉमी में. अगर उस लेबर फोर्स को हम लोग एम्प्लॉयमेंट नहीं दे पाएंगे तो फिर क्या होगा, वो लेबर फोर्स फिर इनकम नहीं कर पाएगा तो खाना नहीं मिलेगा, न्यूट्रिशन प्रॉपर नहीं मिलेगा, एंड इट विल अगेन रोल डाउन टू पॉवर्टी. So what I took this third point as failure to provide employment to the growing labor force. Every plan has laid stress on growth rather than on employment and the adoption of capital-intensive technique of production. In other words, the government did not adopt any employment-oriented strategy of development which aims at 3 to 4% annual increase of employment at higher level of productivity. You see, what is happening in nowadays? More emphasis are given on capital-intensive technique of production. Are you all clear about what is labor-intensive technique and capital-intensive technique?
I think for labor-intensive techniques like more manpower, workers will be organized and they will do that process.
Yeah.
For capitalists, like machines will be set up,
Yeah,
and
very correct, very correct.
that purpose is only to produce money, revenue.
Money. Yeah, very correct,
Thank you,
very
ma'am.
correct. So you see, अगर एम्प्लॉयमेंट में मशीन ज्यादा यूज किया जाए, अगर प्रोडक्शन में हो या किसी भी टेक्निक ऑफ प्रोडक्शन में अगर कैपिटल मशीन ज्यादा यूज किया जाए तो क्या होगा, लेबर मतलब लेबर कम यूज करना पड़ेगा क्योंकि मशीन्स विल डू faster and more work compared to labor, and this is what is the scenario in nowadays in our economy. क्योंकि see अभी सब लोग पहले जो काम होते थे हाथ से अभी तो वो सब रोबोट करते हैं, machines operations will are also now being done by robot and all. So this is again a failure in raising the standard of living. अगर इतना ग्रोइंग पॉपुलेशन है, इतना ग्रोइंग लेबर फोर्स है, अगर इन लोग को हम लोग एम्प्लॉयमेंट नहीं देते हैं गवर्नमेंट, then what will be the result? The result will be again growing poverty. So ऐसा नहीं है कि काम नहीं हो रहा है, काम हो रहा है, प्रोडक्शन भी बढ़ रहा है, मशीन्स भी मतलब इंडस्ट्रीज भी बढ़ रहा है, jobs are there, but most of the jobs are now capital intensive. So you see, and for this also मतलब लेबर इतना नहीं चाहिए क्योंकि हम लोग मशीन से काम चलाते हैं अभी. So this is again one of the reason in which hinders the development in standard of living. And the very,
I think, ma'am, in this context, providing social security to the laborer is
Yeah.
one of the key thing. Otherwise, national income per capita income will persistently decline,
yeah,
resulting fiscal deficit and much more things, ma'am.
yeah, because you see, if there is no employment, this labor force, what will happen with the result? The result will, this labor force will become again dependent upon the other income earner. This labor force will again depend upon the income earner of that family, or there someone in the family who is earning income. And again, what will happen? Their per capita income will come down. Their per capita availability of food will come down, because see, if one in a family is there, if there are 5 members and all are eligible for work, they are eligible, that is they are eligible for getting work. But out of these 5 members, if one member is earning, so what will happen? He will have to feed other than 4. So what will happen? Out of his income, he will have to feed the 5, including himself and the other 4. So in that way, per capita availability of food will also come down, and income per capita will also come down, because see, अगर वो 5% income करते हैं तो total income will be divided by 5% of that family. But if one is earning and it will be divided by total population of that family, that is by 5, then you see the per capita income will also come down. And when per capita income comes down, it will drastically reduce the standard of living of that family. Am I clear this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Now the next point is failure to reduce inequality of income and wealth. This is a very important point actually. This is the point. This, because you see, redistribution of income in favor of the less privileged classes has not taken place. Poverty कम हुआ है थोड़ा. Poverty definitely planning की वजह से थोड़ा poverty इंडिया में कम हुआ है, ऐसा नहीं कि हुआ नहीं है, हुआ है. But inequality has increased, because you see what is happening, that richer are becoming more richer and poorer are becoming more poorer, क्योंकि जो इनकम डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन है वो इक्वल नहीं हो रहा है. Because you see, poverty actually it's a cycle. Because one in a family, suppose a poor family, what they will get, if they won't find any way of more income, what will happen? It will result in cycling of poverty. Means एग्जाम्पल एक पोर फैमिली का ले लिया, वहां पे अगर सिर्फ अपना उसका फादर मतलब हेड ऑफ द फैमिली he earns, and the member of the family, there are other members, suppose 5 members, they are all dependent upon that the only earner. So what will result? क्योंकि वो जो head of the family है who is earning there, what he will do? He will not be able to provide education to his children. He will not be able to provide proper nutrition to his children. Again, what will happen if he doesn't provide education to his children? Illiteracy will increase in the economy, and that illiterate again will lead to huge unemployment, because see, with the change in the scenario, that is with the use of capital intensive techniques, more skilled laborers are required nowadays. Unskilled laborers, because you see most of the things previously, suppose आपको अगर एक मतलब रोड बनाना है तो there was labor, because it is a labor intensive thing. For constructing a road, the more we need is the labor. But what happens nowadays, there are various machinery scheme which can construct the road very faster than the laborers. So what happens nowadays, they are switching over to the machines. So ऐसे क्या होता है, this labor force are again becoming unemployed. So when there is a poverty in a family, if there have no sufficient income, and if the family is a big one, what happens? He will, that earner, that head of the family who is earning, he will not be able to give education to his children, give proper nutrition to his children, which will again result in poverty only. Because you see, if someone is not educated, he will be not skilled, he will not get literate, and what happens? It will again lead to unemployment. And if no nutrition, if he could not provide proper nutrition to his child, it will again lead to illness, and this illness will again a burden on that family only. So इंडिया में क्या हो रहा है, जो रिच है वो रिच होते ही जा रहा है, क्योंकि रिच आर गेटिंग मोर अपॉर्चुनिटी टू इन्वेस्ट, so they are investing and they are earning. And the poor are becoming more poor because you see the rate of inflation. You see the महंगाई कितना बढ़ गया है इंडिया में. What will do? The poor will become more poor because अगर 100 रुपए से उन लोग का एक दिन का पूरा खाना हो जाते थे पहले, अभी वो सीन नहीं है क्योंकि इतना महंगाई बढ़ गया है. 100 रुपीज में वो लोग एक फैमिली नहीं चल पाते हैं अभी. एक दिन का इनकम मतलब एक दिन में 100 रुपीज से नहीं होता है. So this is how poor is becoming more poor. Now these are some points I took मतलब failure in terms of raising the standard of living. क्वेश्चंस में इगलिटरियन सोसाइटी के बारे में भी बात पूछा गया तो मैंने उसका भी थोड़ा डिस्कशन कर लिया यहाँ पे. Now considering the case of creating egalitarian society, we see that in egalitarian society का मतलब क्या है? All individuals are born equal and all members of society are said to have a right to equal opportunities. And these type of societies are often referred to as classless societies. Are the slides visible to you all?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I think the idea of classless society is supported by both Karl Marx and Mahatma Gandhi. Because in their socialism definition, like classless society is a must. Like people should not discriminated on the basis that they are below poverty line and they do not have enough income. So that's the thing now.
So egalitarian society में क्या होता है? सबको सब मतलब इक्वल राइट्स मिलना चाहिए. दिस इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ इगलिटेरियन सोसाइटी. बट अगर हम प्लानिंग का रिजल्ट्स देखें कि प्लानिंग के बाद इंडिया में हुआ क्या है. प्लानिंग का तो ऑब्जेक्टिव है इगलिटेरियन सोसाइटी अचीव करना मतलब इक्वल अपॉर्चुनिटी टू ऑल एंड इक्वल सोसाइटी. देयर मस्ट बी क्लासलेस सोसाइटी मतलब देयर शुड नॉट बी एनी discrimination on the basis of rich and poor. But if we see the results of planning in this regard, we can assert that it is not as expected. क्यों expected? मतलब जितना होना चाहिए उतना नहीं है. But why? यहाँ पे मैंने एक पॉइंट दिया है. One of the main objective of 5-year plan has been to minimize inequality in distribution of income and wealth. मतलब income, property and income उसका distribution में inequality नहीं होगा. This was the objective of our 5-year plan. But plan witness only increase in inequality. मतलब क्या हुआ? प्लान में क्या देखा गया कि inequality बढ़ गया. वैसे तो ऑब्जेक्टिव था कि we will minimize the inequality. But what the result? The result is there is increase in inequality. Rich class becomes richer and poor class poorer. This inequality is found not only in industrial sector but in agricultural sector also. You see, according to an estimate, 3% of household own roughly 50% of cultivable land. You all know, अगर आप एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर में देखो, जिसके पास ज्यादा लैंड है, they are becoming rich, and जिसके पास less है agricultural land, they are becoming poor. And there are many people, those who don't have not their own land also. They are cultivating in some other lands. मतलब जिसका ज्यादा लैंड है, उसका लैंड पे एक हम दिस इज कॉल्ड टेनेंट मतलब उसके लैंड पे वो लोग खेती करते हैं. उसका खुद के पास लैंड भी नहीं है. सो यू सी व्हाट हैपेंस. अगर आप किसी का भी खेत मतलब लैंड टेनेंट एज अ टेनेंट लेके खेती करते हो तो क्या होता है? आपको तो पैसा देना पड़ता है उस लैंड का मतलब भाड़ा देना पड़ता है क्योंकि यू विल बी treating it, using it as a tenant. You will have to pay for the land you are cultivating. And उसके ऊपर से क्या होगा? उस आदमी जो रिच है जिसके पास ज्यादा लैंड है वो क्या करेगा? आपसे whatever you are producing he will collect from you also. So this is what is the rich is becoming more richer and the poor is becoming more poor. Am I clear in this point?
Yes, madam.
Yes, ma'am.
The strategy of eradicating poverty through growth has largely failed as the number of poor in proportion to the population has been increasing. You see this point. क्यों equal नहीं हो रहा है? क्योंकि only because of poverty. क्लास नहीं होना चाहिए, क्लासलेस होना चाहिए. क्लासलेस मतलब यहाँ पे हम लोग रिच एंड पुअर में डिस्क्रिमिनेट नहीं करेंगे. बट यू सी दिस वाज द स्ट्रेटेजी. हम लोग को नहीं क्लासलेस सोसाइटी लेना बनाना है. लेकिन क्यों नहीं हुआ? द मेन रीजन इज दैट why we cannot achieve this classless is just only because of this number of poor in proportion to total population has kept on increasing. मतलब गरीबी बढ़ रहा है इंडिया में, गरीबी बढ़ रहा है इन कंपैरिजन टू टोटल पॉपुलेशन, इसीलिए हम लोग ये पोवर्टी हटा नहीं पा रहा है इंडिया से. एंड यू नो, although India is developing in this regard in eradicating poverty, but you could आप लोग रिलेट कर पा रहे होंगे कि जो पेंडेमिक हो गया 2020 में, जो पेंडेमिक हो गया उसकी वजह से फिर गरीबी बढ़ गया है. You can relate it with what you have seen in last 2 years. Now the condition is again deteriorating. It's not improving, it is deteriorating. You see, due to pandemic, many of it, you can put this point also here. Due to pandemic, many of the people have lost their jobs. Most of the businessmen have lost their businesses. They have incurred a huge loss due to pandemic. If you take the tourism sector, if you take the garment industry, also witnessing a huge loss, because what people were used to have only the required, मतलब खाना चाहिए था, मतलब जितना जितना भी पैसा है हम लोग खाने में इन्वेस्ट करेंगे, मतलब रेशन में, क्योंकि दिस इज द बेसिक नीड. कपड़े हो जाएंगे, नए कपड़े नहीं लेंगे. तो गारमेंट इंडस्ट्री, दिस इज पे, एंड द टूरिज्म इंडस्ट्री, you can say the air industry, all these are also suffered because no one is going to vacations and all. So this is what the condition of poverty is deteriorating in India. And the next point, inequality in income and wealth distribution and concentration of economic power in the private corporate sector. The egalitarian policies to narrow down in inequalities in income wealth have largely failed, deteriorating share of bottom 20% households in the nation income and consumption. You see, national income में जो poverty है, below poverty line है, you see, only contribute 20%, and other section is contributing more. So you see, this is from this point you can make out that egalitarian नहीं हो रहा है society में. नेशनल इनकम में 20% जा रहा है from the people who are poor, who are considered as poor. उन लोग का जो इनकम है, मतलब उन लोग का जो प्रोडक्शन वगैरह है, उससे सिर्फ 20%. The rest is coming from the rich section. So you could see poor here, the term poor is used not only the below BPL family. The poor is used to the middle income family also. Because the capitalists, the rich class consists of 80%. मतलब national income में 80% contribute कर रहे हैं. If you see the contribution of, if you take the contribution of a state, suppose you take the example of the state of Orissa, the contribution of state of Orissa to national income is, what we can say, is less than the contribution provided to national income by Ambani. So what we can say, there is inequality. It's not equal. अगर egalitarian society होना था, अगर egalitarian society होना था, तो there should have been an equal contribution. But what is the scene? That there is an inequality. So we could not achieve the egalitarian policy. Am I clear this point?
Yes, madam.
अभी आंसर्स में हम लोग को क्या करना है, हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे कि इगलिटेरियन क्यों नहीं हो पा रहा है, क्यों प्लानिंग स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग इंक्रीज नहीं किया कर पा रहा है. वी हैव डिस्कस्ड, बट हम लोग का काम क्या है, आंसर्स में उसका सोल्यूशन भी देना है. एनीवन वांट्स टू आस्क एनीथिंग? So we have to give some suggestion also, क्योंकि इंडिया को क्या करना चाहिए कि egalitarian society हो and standard of living भी बढ़ जाए इंडिया में. So here we have put some solutions to ensure that all markets are functional. सभी मार्केट अगर फंक्शनल होता है तो कुछ हद तक हम लोग मतलब इक्वल इगलिटेरियन सोसाइटी एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं. You all please read these points. If you understand, there is no need of explaining. If you don't, I will explain the points. You all please once read these points. There are 6 points. Please go through this. Wait, excuse me.
Yes, madam, we are reading.
Yes, Lama, you want to ask something?
Ma'am, can we add some point on the education in the under the way forward measure? Because ma'am, literacy rate is the most important thing to disseminate the knowledge about
Yeah. You can add. You can add the education also. Yeah, you can add.
Okay, ma'am.
It is not that whatever answer I have prepared, you need to go with this answer only. You also can prepare a better answer than this. Because you see, everyone's quality differs. The style of writing answer differs. But you may have much more content than my answer. So you can prepare your own answer also. But I have only given the frame. मतलब किस फ्रेम में आंसर को आप लोग को फ्रेम करना है. एक इंट्रोडक्शन, फिर बॉडी, फिर सॉल्यूशन, फिर कंक्लूजन.
No.
Okay, so you can add whatever you like. If you feel like it relevant, you can add. If you are understanding all the points, then I will proceed. Otherwise, I will explain it. Whatever you want, you can ask me. Are the points clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Everyone? Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
I want answers from all, whether you give me in chat or you can speak also, but you all try to answer because otherwise you all will get bored.
Yes, ma'am.
You can give answer in your this also. Lama, do you want to ask anything? Okay, so see how I have written a
Madam,
conclusion.
health reliance also added in this points. self-reliance, India self-reliance.
हाँ, these are the ways. If you follow, if we follow, मतलब if government follows these ways, then it will lead to self-reliance also. It will lead to increased standard of living also, and it will lead to achieving a egalitarian society also.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so you see in the conclusion what I have written, although India failed to achieve most of its objectives of planning, but with proper strategy and more improved planning and its better implementation can lead a way forward for India in achieving its goal towards a developed nation, creating high standard of living and a classless society. मतलब क्वेश्चन क्या पूछ रहा था हम लोग को कि इंडिया फेल टू achieves a high standard of living and a egalitarian society मतलब classless society. So we will conclude that like that only. मतलब question जैसे पूछा वैसे ही हम लोग आंसर करेंगे. So this question you take help from my answer whatever I have given here, you all will get it in PDF. So you all take this help of my answer, you all take help of books, you all can put whatever you want to put in the answer and you prepare a good note matlab a good answer upon this question, because you see this question was repeated many times, but I have searched papers from 2015 and the question I found, so I will have at least 3 times I found the question from 2015 to 19 this question was repeated actually. So what I feel this question is important and it could be repeated again. So prepare a better, much better answer. Okay, write it down. Actually, see, PDF से ऐसा नहीं है कि PDF से भी नहीं पढ़ पाओगे आप लोग, PDF से पढ़ पाओगे, बट अगर आप लोग खुद का हैंडराइटिंग से एक बार आंसर कॉपी में लिखते हो, चाहे कॉपी करके लिखो, खुद का अगर कुछ इनपुट नहीं भी देना है तो मत दो, यही आंसर को अगर कॉपी करके अपने हैंडराइटिंग से कॉपी में लिखते हो तो you will able to write it in the exam also. So let's proceed to the next question. This is also a question from 2019. And today I'm discussing the questions from paper of 2019. So here, again, economic development of India is impracticable without development on the rural sector. मतलब क्वेश्चन क्या पूछ रहा है कि इंडिया का इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट नहीं होगा अगर हम रूरल सेक्टर का डेवलप नहीं करेंगे. So we need to give our explanation upon this. So same process, introduction करेंगे पहले answers में. Introductions में I have given that traditionally rural economy has been the bedrock of India's economic growth. Given that 2/3 of its population, that is 68.84% according to 2011 census of the workforce resides in rural areas and the rural economy generates nearly 46% of national income. So you all know that in India, most of the population are rural population. As you know, Mahatma Gandhi said that India flourished in village. मतलब ज़्यादातर population rural area में है. And you know, and most of the population are engaged in the agricultural sector. Nowadays, there are several methods have come up with modern agricultural techniques so that we can do agriculture in our urban areas also. Nowadays, there are various modern techniques came up like hydroponics and all. But the real picture is that agriculture is sticking to the rural economy only now, today also. You all agree to this point कि agriculture अभी भी rural economy में ही है? Do you agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
So
ma'am. Because in the transition phase from agrarian society to capitalist form of production, in India, it is not properly carried out.
yeah,
Because most of the state, even Odisha, West Bengal, these are like agrarian state. Odisha is
agrarian
mainly
state, yeah,
agrarian state, ma'am.
yeah. So
And also, in rural Odisha, like the technological transformation is still lacking. Like people
yeah,
are still depending upon their like
primitive
crop,
method. They
like
use the
how much
primitive
crop
method.
they grow. In
Yeah.
Odisha, Baleshwar is generally called as like a crop store, like Bhatahandi.
Acha,
Like
acha.
most of the crops are produced here,
Okay,
like
okay.
so, like rice, etc.
Yeah. So you see, this is why actually rural development is necessary. क्योंकि you see the main thing, अगर आप लोग इंडिया के पास सभी के पास इंडिया में पॉवर्टी नहीं है, मान लिया कि इंडिया में पॉवर्टी नहीं है, ऑल आर रिच, बट इफ एग्रीकल्चर डजंट प्रेजेंट इन इंडिया, मतलब फूड अगर अवेलेबल नहीं है तो रिच होके भी फायदा नहीं है. सो यू सी रूरल इकोनॉमी नीड्स टू डेवलप. द वेरी फर्स्ट पॉइंट आंसर में हम लोग पूरा सजा बढ़ा के लिखना पड़ेगा, लेकिन द कॉन्सेप्ट इज दैट रूरल इकोनॉमी नीड्स टू डेवलप, क्योंकि ज्यादातर पॉपुलेशन रूरल इकोनॉमी में है. अगर उन लोग का डेवलप होगा तभी तो इंडिया डेवलप होगा. एंड अगेन हम लोग का मेन जो हम लोग जिसके ऊपर डिपेंड है मेन, दैट इज द फूड सिक्योरिटी, मतलब फूड अगर उसमें डेवलप होगा तो ऑटोमेटिकली इंडिया विल डेवलप. So this is the actually what the question wants from us. But in writing answers, we need to give some technical points and we need to frame it accordingly. So sustainable rural development is vital to economic, social, and environmental viability of nation, which is essential for poverty eradication since global poverty is overwhelmingly rural. अब देखिए, अगर हम लोग देखते हैं poverty, so most of the poor people, I must not use the term poor here, but most of the lower caste people, मतलब poverty ridden people are basically sticking to the rural areas. अगर उन लोग में डेवलपमेंट आ जाए तो इंडिया विल डेवलप, डेफिनेटली इंडिया विल डेवलप. सो बॉडी में हम लोग क्या दिखेंगे, रूरल डेवलपमेंट क्या है एंड क्यों नहीं इंडिया में रूरल डेवलपमेंट अच्छी तरह से क्यों नहीं हुआ है, वो हम लोग बॉडी में लिखेंगे. So, in the body of the answer, what you will write, rural development is the process of improving the quality of life and economic well-being of people in rural areas, often relatively isolated and sparsely populated areas. मतलब rural areas में क्या होता है, isolated होता है, and you know there are sparsely populated, मतलब city में आप देखोगे एक ही flat में 20-25 families resides in one flat only, मतलब one building. And all the buildings are adjacent to each other. You will not get much land there. So rural में क्या होता है, sparsely populated, मतलब they are मतलब separated. They have more land and their houses are not adjacent to more adjacent to each other. So these are, and they are in rural are said to be isolated. Isolated मतलब communication अच्छा नहीं होता. They are isolated from the town area actually. So the term isolated and sparsely populated are used. India cannot achieve its development without developing the rural areas due to the following reason. मतलब क्वेश्चन ने पूछा that economic development of India is impracticable without development of its rural sector. Now we will discuss क्यों rural sector अगर develop नहीं होते हैं तो India develop नहीं कर नहीं पाएंगे. Now these are some facts. You see, a large proportion of population is living in rural areas. Rural people account for about 3/4, that is 75% of the total population. There is one data in 2016, 68.84% of the population accounted for rural population. They have always lagged behind, much behind the overall progress of the economy. मतलब rural people are lagging behind in the progress. अगर हम उन लोग का डेवलप नहीं करेंगे तो इकोनॉमी डेवलप नहीं होगा.
Madam, in this slide, it is not showing, madam, in this slide.
Oh, the slide is not showing. Okay, wait. Now?
No, ma'am.
Okay, let's do it. Now the first slide is visible, मतलब येलो कलर वाला स्लाइड आ रहा है जहाँ पे क्वेश्चन लिखा हुआ है.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now?
Yes, madam, it is visible
Yes,
now.
ma'am, it's visible.
Okay. So you see here what I have given in the very first point. A large proportion of population is living in rural areas, and rural people count for about 3/4, that is 75% of total population. And in 2016, I took this data from one survey. 68.84% population accounted for rural population. and they have always lagged much behind the overall progress of the economy. मतलब अब अगर रूरल पॉपुलेशन, तो आप लोग को पता चल गया कि 75% ऑफ पॉपुलेशन इज रिसाइडिंग इन रूरल एरिया, and this population is lagging much behind in the progress of the economy. इकोनॉमी का जो प्रोग्रेस हो रहा है वो रूरल एरिया में नहीं हो रहा है. So you see, we need to develop that rural population, because अगर उस 75% पॉपुलेशन का डेवलपमेंट नहीं होगा तो सिर्फ 25% पॉपुलेशन लेके इंडिया डेवलप नहीं कर पाएगा. India will develop only when its entire population will develop. Agar if we ignore that 75%, those who are residing in rural area, then we cannot say that India is developed. Is the first point clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now second point, agriculture, which is the major source of livelihood. Agriculture is still a major source of livelihood in rural areas. Matlab, you see, in the rural area, most of the people depend on agriculture. Everyone has a agricultural land in rural area, and those who don't have also, they do agriculture. मतलब वो भी cropping करते हैं as a tenant. And more than 2/3 of India's population depends on it. You see, more than 2/3 of India's population depends on agriculture. So the development of agriculture will contribute to the betterment of rural areas and rural people. Agriculture develop होना जरूरी है rural area में, क्योंकि agriculture is the major source of livelihood in rural areas. अब अगर cities में देखते हो तो आदमी लोग प्राइवेट जॉब करते हैं, या तो गवर्नमेंट जॉब करते हैं, या तो दुकान खोलते हैं, या तो बिजनेस कुछ भी कर लेते हैं. But in rural areas, if you see the scenario of rural areas, most of the people are engaged in agriculture. No, they can cultivate vegetables also. They can cultivate fruits also. It's not necessary they all will cultivate rice or wheat and pulses. They can cultivate vegetables, they can cultivate fruits, they can. Agriculture is a broad concept. Agriculture मतलब वहाँ पे आपका animal husbandry भी include है. Like your dairy, like your piggery and all those are included in agriculture actually. मतलब एग्रीकल्चर यहाँ पे डिनोट कर रहा है कि अगर कोई फार्म मतलब पोल्ट्री भी करते हैं या डायरी भी करते हैं या पिगरी भी करते हैं, all these are included in the term agriculture. So major people depends upon this agriculture. Major source मतलब उन लोग का इनकम एग्रीकल्चर से ही होते हैं. So when we will develop that sector, that population will also get developed. Is the second point clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now come to the third point, that is infrastructure. Infrastructure क्यों develop होना चाहिए rural area में? You see, infrastructural condition of a rural area has a direct link with its scale of development. क्यों? Infrastructure consists of पक्का roads, consistent supply of electricity and availability of transport. Rural area में अगर पक्का road हो जाए,
In this slide not showing, madam.
Why it's not showing?
Yes, madam. Yes, showing already.
Okay. So the infrastructural condition of a rural area has a direct link with its scale of development. Primarily, infrastructure consists of pakka roads, consistent supply of electricity and availability of transport. अब एक मतलब इमेजिन कीजिए एक विलेज में अगर पक्का रोड नहीं है, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नहीं है भी तो मतलब दिन में 2 ही घंटा इलेक्ट्रिसिटी मिलता है, ज्यादातर तो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नहीं होते हैं, एंड ट्रांसपोर्टेशन नहीं है. And you see that population of that village, there is a huge population. मतलब अब अगर इमेजिन करते हो कि there are 100 people, मतलब 100 families in that village, and in that village there is no pakka road, no electricity supply and no availability of transport. But there are 100 families are residing in that village. वहां पे क्या होगा? You see, there is no availability of transport, and this village is producing a very good agriculture. मतलब वहां पे ज्यादा खेती होते हैं, So they will be not able to transport that whatever crop they are harvesting there. They will be not be able to transport them to other part of the state. And electricity नहीं होने की वजह से they will cannot store also. मतलब you see there if there is an electricity there will be then only there will be cold storage and all so that they can store their produce. And there are no availability मतलब कोई भी गाड़ी वगैरह नहीं चलते हैं उस विलेज में तो how they cannot transport that whatever harvest they have they cannot transport it to other. So what happens वहाँ पे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं होने के वजह से जो उन लोग को कंज्यूम करना है वो करते हैं एंड व्हाटएवर द सरप्लस दिस ऑल आर मतलब वो लोग फेंक देते हैं क्योंकि यू नो they cannot store they don't have storage they don't have transport and so what happens the items become perish उन लोग को फेंक देना पड़ता है. So you see this is again wastage from the economy point of view. This is again a wastage. उन लोग का जो सरप्लस प्रोडक्शन होते हैं वहां पे अगर वो लोग ट्रांसपोर्ट कर पाते हैं किसी भी कारण अगर उन लोग के पास ट्रांसपोर्टेशन होता या पक्का रोड्स होता अगर वो ट्रांसपोर्ट कर पाते देन इट वुड हैव डेफिनेटली हेल्प द अदर पीपल दोज मतलब अगर वो लोग उस विलेज से सिटी तक पहुंचा सकते थे तो सिटी पीपल विल हैव दैट हार्वेस्ट एंड दे कुड हैव अर्न समथिंग आल्सो इन दिस वे. So, see, due to inavailability of proper infrastructure, there has been an increase in the efficiency of supply of agricultural output to the mainland markets all over India. So, अगर infrastructure अच्छे होते हैं, then they could have supply agricultural output to the all over India and opportunity of income would have increases in the rural residents. Am I clear this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Now the fourth.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ these I am discussing the points क्यों develop होना चाहिए rural area develop क्यों होना चाहिए. I am discussing those points. So land reform होना चाहिए. Importance of land reform can be understood in terms of enhanced agricultural assets leading to equality in land distribution and enhancing agricultural production. And why agricultural production should be enhanced? Because enhanced production further provides allied employment for rural people and helps in reducing poverty. अगर land reform
Ma'am, in the context of land reform, I would like to add some few points because my master's research was purely on land reform in Odisha.
Okay.
So I would like to highlight some of the conclusion what I referred from research while doing at Tata Institute. So, ma'am, thing is that the land reform in Odisha was not accurately implemented because that was immensely opposed by the Raja, Maharaja, Zamindaraj, and but the ceiling was there, but ceiling couldn't took place because they just told that they are separated and separate family, and they have their 9-10 acre, but still the joint acre 300-400 acres continued. And also the negligence on the part of revenue officials couldn't also make this process happen now.
Okay. So see, अगर land reforms वहाँ पे developed होते, मतलब they were not accepting the ceilings. अगर ceilings accept करते, then everyone would have got that equal land. जिसका land नहीं है उन लोग को भी land मिलते हैं क्योंकि वो लोग तो छोड़ देते हैं ना जो ceiling से the one which is above the ceiling part they would have given to the other people. Then the landless would be getting a land. And in that way, after getting a land, they could have cultivated the land. They could have whatever they produce out of cultivation, they could have sell it and they could have earned income. So land reform is important, and government should give proper attention in developing those land reform. अगर land reform में development लाया जाए, अगर land reform सही तरीके से हो किसी भी स्टेट पे, वहां पे क्या होता, लैंडलेस को लैंड मिलता, जिसके पास मतलब जितना होना चाहिए उससे ज्यादा अगर लैंड होते हैं तो there is a ceiling of everything. There is a ceiling. The reforms also suggest some ceilings. It varies from state to state. but there's a ceiling that one people can hold this much of land, and the excess he should give it to government. Government matlab he should leave it. Leave it matlab government will give this land to one who is landless. अगर किसी के पास खुद का जमीन नहीं होता है एंड किसी के पास ज्यादा होता है, ज्यादा जिसके पास होता है, अगर वो गवर्नमेंट को छोड़ दे वो लैंड, then government will give it to the needy one who is not having any land in that state and he is a citizen of that state. So government will give land to that people. And अगर उसको लैंड मिल गया, जिसके पास लैंड नहीं थे उसको लैंड मिल गया रिफॉर्म की वजह से, उस लैंड में अब वो रहेगा, थोड़ा सा जगह में वो घर बना के रह लेगा, एंड द अदर पार्ट ही विल यूज इन एग्रीकल्चर. क्योंकि रूरल विलेज में तो यही होता है ना, लैंड होने से तो वो लोग फैक्ट्री नहीं लगा लेते, वो लोग खेती में लगा देते हैं विलेज में, मतलब रूरल में. तो वो he will use it for agriculture in the sense he can open a dairy farm there, he might open a poultry farm there, he might do some cultivation there, he might do some piggery there. So he might do anything, and out of this he could have produced something. And after
Ma'am,
production,
one more thing is that the land reform in West Bengal was effectively implemented.
yeah,
And during CPIM, Communist Party of India, Marxist regime, they like it was like 50 years period, and they have like distributed a good amount of land
yeah,
compared to
in
other
West
states.
Bengal it was properly implemented actually. So this is, if government keeps developing the land reforms from time to time, then the people, the rural people, would have more land for production, and by producing and by selling those produced after consuming whatever is left, if they sell those, they would have earned something, and this will again help in reducing poverty. So these are 4 points. There are many more points, and these 4 points is why rural development is necessary. If we need to justify that why rural development necessary, we can cite these 4 points. These 4 points will justify that why rural development is necessary. Am I clear these 4 points?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now see, now come the education. We have discussed that infrastructure is necessary. We have discussed that land reform is necessary. Agriculture development होना चाहिए, and now with education भी developed होना चाहिए rural area में. Improving the quality of education in rural areas can have a big impact on the growth of job prospects. Education can boost employment level in rural areas, boosting a region's or area's wealth. It is a powerful tool that can eradicate poverty and raise the standard of living of people. Rural communities will develop and prosper.
Slides in this slides.
Oh, it's not visible again. Now,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, education वाला slide देख पा रहे हो आप लोग? Education.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, education भी जरूरी है, मतलब रूरल एरिया में education भी develop होना जरूरी है, क्योंकि only through education we can have skilled labor there. You see, education will increase knowledge and expertise of the rural population to make educated decisions about their farms, innovative agricultural input tools and the market. क्योंकि देखिए आप लोग 75% पॉपुलेशन रूरल एरिया में है, अगर उस 75% एजुकेटेड हो जाए, so India will become a literate nation. Education, you all might be knowing the difference between education and literacy. Literacy is to know how to read, write it. It's the literacy. And education is different. You may a villager might not know how to write or how to read, but then also he will be said as educated if he knows how to behave in a society, if he knows the civic sense of a society, if he knows how to make good decision, and if he is not exploited. मतलब educated होने से exploitation भी नहीं होता. अब देखिए जमींदार क्या करते थे, लैंड गिरवी रख लेते थे from the villagers and provide money to them. अगर कोई educated people होता, पहले तो education नहीं था, अगर पीपल एजुकेटेड होता तो दिस वुड नॉट हैव हैपेंड। एजुकेशन होने से क्या होता है, अंगूठा छाप भी हो सकते हैं, लिटरेट नहीं भी हो सकते हैं। अंगूठा छाप भी आप लोग अगर बैंक में कभी जाने से आप लोग अगर कभी देखा भी होगा शायद, यू सी द वन हु इज गिविंग थंब इम्प्रेशन ही इज आल्सो अवेलिंग द बैंकिंग सर्विस। मतलब ही इज एडुकेटेड, ही इज नॉट लिटरेट, क्योंकि लिटरेट होने के लिए लिखना होगा, लिखना एंड पढ़ना। सो
Ma'am, also the extension awareness must be emphasized in the rural development, because extension not only the agriculture technology but also the different technology related to the manufacturing sector and storage sector,
yeah,
and also some production technology. If we extend, we have the emphasis on extension program, then it also emphasize, it also increase the their knowledge about the
various
about the.
various innovative techniques.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So if we give them knowledge about the extension sector also, then also they will get various innovative knowledge, and they will be aware of the innovative techniques। मतलब एग्रीकल्चर में भी हो या मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर में भी हो या किसी भी सेक्टर में हो, they will be knowing the latest techniques
Yes,
and
ma'am.
they can utilize also। So these are the 5 points। अगर इस 5 points में डेवलपमेंट लाया जाए, then India will definitely develop। You all agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ। So conclusion में मैंने क्या लिखा है, important to realize that rural development is considered more important in the country today than in the older days in the progress of evolution in the nation, as well as it is a strategy that tries to get improved and productivity, higher socio-economic equality and ambition, and stability in social and also economic development। Because nowadays rural development is very much necessary। एंड आप लोग अगर मतलब रिलेट कर पा रहे हो, आप लोग देखोगे रूरल डेवलपमेंट इज गिवन मच एम्फोसिस आल्सो इन नाउडेज। इफ यू सी द कंडीशन ऑफ रोड्स ऑफ अ सिटी and if you see the condition of roads of the villages, then you will see the difference। The condition of roads of the villages are much better than the conditions of the roads of the cities। And you see rural people, the people who are residing in rural areas in any state, you see they are getting more benefit, मतलब socio economic benefit in terms of various schemes of government। गवर्नमेंट बहुत रूरल डेवलपमेंट के लिए स्कीम्स ला रहे हैं। मतलब questions might also come about discussion of the schemes, the various schemes taken by government, the various policies issued by government for the rural development। But in this question we will not discuss the schemes। In this question we are to analyze why rural development is necessary, and we have analyzed 5 points, and in these 5 points what we have shown that if we can develop these 5 points, then India will definitely develop, and these are the important things why a rural economy should be developed। Am I clear?
Yes, madam.
Okay, so you all
Ma'am, once more, only 5 point, please, madam. Once more.
five
Only
मतलब
point. Only
education वाला
point.
part।
Only point, madam. 5 bulletin point. Once more, repeat, madam.
Okay, so that is the education वाला point। Okay, 5 number point मतलब education वाला point।
All point, madam. 5 point, including education. What are this? Hey,
Only the
again.
point you need me to मतलब repeat the points।
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
the very
only 5 point.
the first point is that a large proportion of population is living in rural areas। मतलब देखो इंडिया में अगर हम लोग देखते हैं आउट ऑफ 100% 75% इज रिसाइडिंग इन रूरल एरिया। सो रूरल एरिया का डेवलपमेंट होना जरूरी है, क्योंकि उस 75% को छोड़कर इंडिया डेवलप नहीं हो पाएगा। फर्स्ट पॉइंट, एम आई क्लियर?
Yes, madam.
Okay.
Next point.
Next point is agriculture, which is a major source of livelihood। You see, agriculture is मतलब आपको एग्रीकल्चर रूरल एरिया में मिलेगा। एग्रीकल्चर रूरल एरिया में मिलेगा। एग्रीकल्चर इज अ मेजर सोर्स ऑफ लाइवलीहुड इन रूरल एरिया। सो अगर हम लोग रूरल एरिया में एग्रीकल्चर डेवलप करते हैं, देन इट विल लीड टू बेटरमेंट ऑफ द इंडिया एज अ होल। मतलब एग्रीकल्चर डेवलप होने से हम लोग की जो फूड की कमी नहीं होगा। सो वी नीड टू डेवलप दैट एग्रीकल्चर ऑल्सो। एग्रीकल्चर मतलब यहाँ पे सिर्फ एग्रीकल्चर ही नहीं, मतलब ओनली कल्टिवेशन ही नहीं है, यहाँ पे पिगरी भी है, गोटरी भी हो सकता है, डेयरी भी हो सकता है, पोल्ट्री भी हो सकता है। सो दिस इज व्हाट वी नीड टू डेवलप एंड ऑल दिस यू विल फाइंड इन रूरल एरिया। एम आई क्लियर?
Yes,
Yes,
madam.
ma'am.
Okay, now come the third point, that is infrastructure. Infrastructure मतलब पक्का रोड, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी, अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट। अगर रूरल एरिया में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप होते हैं, मतलब वहां पे देखिए ज्यादातर पॉपुलेशन रूरल एरिया में है, अगर उस पॉपुलेशन का डेवलप करना है तो उन लोग को इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर देना जरूरी है, उन लोग को इलेक्ट्रिसिटी देना जरूरी है, तभी तो पढ़ पाएगा। तभी तो इलेक्ट्रिसिटी में, अगर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी नहीं होते हैं तो इट बिकम्स डिफिकल्ट टू स्टडी।
Ma'am, one major thing is that the student who perform better in exam or study in good colleges, premier institutes in India or abroad, mainly their parents provide all kind of like financial support, technical support,
Yeah,
advisory support, and also people belong to like doing lower level government job or low income or lower middle class.
yeah,
Their kids are not that much advanced,
yeah,
and they have to rely their traditional path like doing a
yeah, yeah.
small government job or plus some kind of
हाँ
businesses
हाँ
or
हाँ हाँ हाँ,
agricultural activities
मतलब
like that.
यू सी ना, इसलिए तो मैंने बोला ना कि इन इंडिया क्या हो रहा है, रिचर आर गेटिंग मोर रिच एंड पुअर आर बिकमिंग मोर पुअर। क्योंकि आप देखिए, अगर हम लोग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर नहीं प्रोवाइड कर पा रहे, मतलब इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मतलब फ्री में, ऐसा नहीं है कि आप विलेज में रहते हो आप खुद से रोड बना लोगे, ऐसा नहीं है। गवर्नमेंट को डेवलप करना है इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, रोड बनाना है, तभी तो आप आके शहर में पढ़ पाओगे। विलेज से तो आना है ना निकल के, वहां पे तो सब कुछ नहीं मिलेगा। तो अगर रोड डेवलप होता है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप होता है, तब भी तो जाके आदमी बाहर आएगा, कोई भी चीज लाएगा, बेच के थोड़ा बहुत कमा लेगा। क्योंकि आप देखिए इकोनॉमी इज ओपन नाउ, एंड अगर आप विलेज से बाहर ही नहीं आ सकते हो, रोड ही नहीं है वहां पे, एंड जो रोड भी है वो भी अगर कंडीशन खराब है कि आप जा ही नहीं सकते हो, बारिश के मौसम में तो आप लोग निकल ही नहीं पाते हो, तब क्या करोगे? आप तो क्लोज्ड इकोनॉमी में आ गए ना, आप तो उस विलेज के ही अंदर सेल कर पाओगे। अगर विलेज के अंदर आपको सही दाम नहीं मिल रहा है किसी भी चीज का, अगर आप बाहर आते हो, शहर की तरफ आते हो, तब उसी चीज का आपको थोड़ा ज्यादा पैसा मिलता है।
Ma'am, one more thing is that this lockdown that was imposed,
Yeah,
it also impacted the migration. Like before that, people are easily migrating like Bombay, Delhi, even
yeah,
they do not have proper education.
yeah,
But right now, they are like scaring. If we go, will you get the job? Or
yeah, yeah,
they'll follow the protocols, COVID norms,
oh, yeah,
and they
yeah,
may not get employment. All kind of scary stuffs, ma'am.
yeah. सो मतलब अभी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप होना जरूरी है, एंड दैट इज टू इन रूरल एरिया। शहर में जितना भी आप रास्ता, पक्का रास्ता या रोड्स बना लो, शहर में जितना भी इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप कर लो, मतलब डेवलपमेंट सही महीने में होने के लिए रूरल एरिया डेवलप करना जरूरी है। क्योंकि जो शहर में आता है वो तो रूरल एरिया से ही आते हैं। दिल्ली मेट्रो सिटी, दिल्ली में जो राइस व्हीट वगैरह आता है वो तो पंजाब की खेतों से ही आते हैं या यूपी की खेतों से ही आते हैं, तो उन लोग के वो लाने के लिए इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का जरूरी है। सो थर्ड पॉइंट एक्सप्लेन्स दैट द डेवलपमेंट ऑफ इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इज एसेंशियल इन रूरल एरिया, then only we can market our produce in all over India. Am I clear this point, third point? Shall I proceed to point number 4?
Yes, madam.
Okay. So point number 4 is लैंड रिफॉर्म। लैंड रिफॉर्म में डेवलपमेंट लाना जरूरी है, क्योंकि अगर लैंड रिफॉर्म, लैंड मतलब किताबों में लिख के लैंड रिफॉर्म या कागजों में लिख के लैंड रिफॉर्म ठीक ही है, गवर्नमेंट ने सही रिफॉर्म ही बनाया है, अगर लैंड रिफॉर्म इम्प्लीमेंट ठीक से नहीं हो रहा है, अगर गवर्नमेंट नहीं देख रहा है कि कौन कितना लैंड एक्वायर कर रहा है, किसके पास कितना जमीन है एंड किसके पास रहने के लिए भी जमीन नहीं है, अगर गवर्नमेंट ये सब देखते थे, अगर गवर्नमेंट ये सब देखते हैं सही मायने में, then we can have a better land reform. And having a better land reform will help us in enhancing our agricultural assets. मतलब रूरल एरिया में अगर लैंड रिफॉर्म ठीक तरीके से होता है, तब क्या होता है, देयर विल बी नो डिफरेंस बिटवीन लैंडलेस पीपल एंड द लैंड ओनर। मतलब सभी के पास एटलीस्ट रहने के लिए जगह होगा, लैंड रिफॉर्म अगर प्रॉपर वे में हो, सभी के पास एटलीस्ट खुद का घर होगा, मतलब रहने के लिए जगह होगा। रूरल एरिया का बात बोल रहा हूँ मैं यहाँ पे। तो एंड दे विल हैव सम एग्रीकल्चरल लैंड आल्सो। अब देखिए, अब अगर देखते हैं रूरल एरिया में, आप एक एकदम बीपीएल फैमिली ले लो, आप एक बीपीएल फैमिली ले लो, एकदम बीपीएल फैमिली, उसके पास अगर आप जाके पूछते हो कि आपका कितना जमीन है, उसके पास अगर 2 वक्त का खाना भी नहीं है, लेकिन आप देखना इन रूरल एरिया में उसके पास एटलीस्ट 1 बीघा जमीन तो होते ही है, ज्यादा ही होते हैं, फिर भी 1 बीघा तो सबके पास होते ही है रूरल एरिया में अगर आप देखते हो तो। सो लैंड रिफॉर्म अगर अगर लैंड रिफॉर्म में खराबी है तो क्या होगा, उन लोग तो गरीब है, उन लोग को तो कुछ पता नहीं, तो जमींदार लोग क्या करेगा, उन लोग से लैंड उस पुअर फैमिली से लैंड हड़प लेते हैं। अगर गवर्नमेंट सही मायने में रिफॉर्म करते हैं रूरल एरिया में, तब क्या होगा, गवर्नमेंट अगर उस पॉलिसीज को देखते हैं कि किसके पास कितना लैंड है, किसके पास लैंड नहीं है, तो ये इश्यूज नहीं आएगा। तो एवरीवन विल हैव लैंड and living in that land they can also produce some agriculture, they can do some agricultural activity there, and doing some agricultural activity they can sell it in the market and help earn something, and in this way they can reduce their poverty. So this land reform is essential in rural area. Am I clear this point?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now let proceed to the next point, that is education. Why education is necessary in rural area? You see, because from the very first point we can say that 75% of population is residing in rural area, and education is an instrument of development, you all know that, क्योंकि education, educated nation or educated population is a sign of development. उस 75% population अगर educated नहीं होंगे तो India cannot be said to be a developed nation. This is the very first point why education is necessary. And becoming educated, they can become more employed. Employed matlab they can become eligible for employment. Becoming educated, the village population can become eligible for employment. जब एक एरिया का एम्प्लॉयमेंट बढ़ जाएगा, मतलब एजुकेशन बढ़ जाएगा, देयर विल बी मोर एलिजिबल एम्प्लॉय, मतलब स्किल्ड वर्कर, एलिजिबल एम्प्लॉय मतलब स्किल्ड वर्कर। एंड व्हेन अगर किसी भी एरिया में स्किल्ड वर्कर बढ़ जाए, देन दैट एरिया विल ऑटोमेटिकली गेट डेवलप इन द सेंस, आप एक रूरल एरिया ले लो, वहां पे अगर देखो, वहां एक एरिया ले लो किसी भी विलेज का, उस विलेज में अगर 100 फैमिलीज है, and all these 100 families are educated, and all these 100 families being educated are doing some job मतलब नौकरी के बारे में बात नहीं बोल रही हूँ मैं, नौकरी भी कर रहा है कोई कोई, एंड कोई अपना मतलब स्किल से कुछ, जैसे कोई बन गया इलेक्ट्रिशियन, कोई बन गया प्लम्बर, कोई बन गया मेसन, कोई बन गया अपना आपका पेंटर, ऐसे स्किल वर्कर बोलते हैं उन लोग को। जिसके पास स्किल हो, वैसे ये स्किल वर्क करके भी वो लोग कुछ इनकम कर सकते हैं, एंड बाय अर्निंग इनकम दे कैन डेवलप देयर विलेज। अगर एजुकेशन होने की वजह से सभी घर में इनकम होना शुरू हो जाए, देन दैट विलेज विल ऑटोमेटिकली गेट डेवलप। इसीलिए विलेज में, रूरल एरिया में एजुकेशन का डेवलपमेंट होना जरूरी है। एम आई क्लियर दिस पॉइंट? And only by having education they will know that what is happening in the country. अगर एग्रीकल्चर में इम्प्रूवमेंट लाना है तो क्या क्या टेक्निक यूज करना है, they uneducated people will not know all these things. Only an educated people will know that what is going on, what type of fertilizers are used in agriculture, what types of modern techniques are used in agriculture, what type of innovative thinking we can have. So only through education only our people can have all those ideas. So this is why education is important. If these points are clear, I shall proceed to the next question.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the next question is, this is a question on economic reform. You see, this question was asked for 10 marks in 2016 and in 2019. So this is again this is a question on economic policy, not economic reform. It is a question on economic policy. Rural population. So here the question asks that objectives of new economic policy. देखिए ये क्वेश्चन एकदम स्टैटिक क्वेश्चन है। स्टैटिक मतलब बुक पढ़ के ही आप लोग आंसर कर पाओगे इस क्वेश्चन को।
Madam, slide is
It's
not
not
showing.
okay. Now,
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
okay, okay. So this is a static question. Static question मतलब this is, you can answer this question by directly reading the book. By directly reading the book, you can answer this question. This is a static question. So, what are the objectives of new economic policy of Government of India? This answer will be same for every candidate who is answering this question. ऑब्जेक्टिव्स जो होगा आपके लिए भी, जो होगा मेरे लिए भी वही होगा, किसी दूसरे के लिए भी वही होगा। Am I clear? So you can write whatever the objectives were given in the books, or whatever from whatever source you have read the objectives, you can write it as it is. No one will deduct any mark for writing it as it is. मतलब एक चीज माइंड में रखना पड़ेगा कि आंसर शुड बी अराउंड 250 वर्ड्स, विद इन 250 वर्ड्स, क्योंकि वहां पे वर्ड का लिखा होता है कि विद इन 250 वर्ड्स। सो वी नीड टू समराइज एक्चुअली, मतलब जितना लिखा है सब नहीं लिखना है, उससे इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स उठा के हम लोग को लिखना है। सो ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऐसे जब आंसर में लिखोगे, फर्स्ट अगेन द इंट्रोडक्शन। इंट्रोडक्शन में आप लोग क्या लिखोगे, यहाँ पे पूछा गया है ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ न्यू इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी। यहाँ पे मैंने रिफॉर्म लिख लिया, दिस इज अ मिस्टेक, लेट मी करेक्ट इट हियर ओनली। This is not reform, this is economic policy. So what is economic policy? एकदम इंट्रोडक्शन में आप लोग लिखोगे व्हाट इज इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी, why, when and why it was adopted. This you will get in your book. In the very first paragraph you will write what is economic policy, and in the next paragraph you will write why, when and why it was adopted. Why में आप लोग का क्या आएगा आंसर, गवर्नमेंट adopted reform with an objective of this y का आंसर है this one. When आप लोग को पता है it was adopted in 1991 by government of India. So you will write in the very first paragraph what is economic policy and when it was adopted. This is why. The why it was adopted का आंसर है these are the objectives. मतलब क्यों economic policies लाया गया था. कुछ तो रीजन होगा तो these are the reason. मतलब these are the objectives. So you see the very first objective है develop the poor performance of the public sector. And यहाँ पे रिफॉर्म क्यों लाया गया क्योंकि पब्लिक सेक्टर वाज not performing well at that time, that is in 1991. Public sector मतलब government sector, public means government sector was not performing well in 1991. So government adopted for this economic policy. The public sector were incurring huge losses because of inefficient management. And the next point, to correct the adverse BOP, imports exceed export. हम लोग का BOP खराब कब होता है? BOP मतलब balance of payment, मतलब it should be balanced. That is, export should be equal to import. उतना ही import करना है जितना हम export करते हैं. हो सके तो import less करना है. These all you all know. क्योंकि import कम होने से इंडिया का BOP surplus होता है. मतलब balance of payment surplus होता है. This is beneficial for India. This BOP was getting worse in 1991. You see, imports grew at a very high rate without matching the growth of exports. Government could not restrict imports even after imposing heavy tariffs and fixing quotas. On the other hand, exports were very less due to low quality and high price of our goods as compared to that of foreign goods. 1991 में सिनेरियो क्या था कि इंपोर्ट बहुत ज्यादा हो रहे थे इंडिया में and export was very less. Why export was less? Because our quality, the quality of the produce what India was producing at that time was very low and it is not getting its demand in the other countries. And the next thing, the price is much higher. The other countries were getting those produced in the less price from some other countries. That's why they were not demanding products from India. So export was less. And import में गवर्नमेंट बहुत restrictions लगा दिया था गवर्नमेंट ने 1991 में, but import could not be minimized. Import was much higher than export. So we had an adverse BOP at that time. That is in 1990-91 we had an adverse BOP. So to correct that BOP, India adopted for this new economic policy. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The third point, to raise the foreign exchange reserves. The foreign exchange, matlab the foreign currencies which a country holds. You know, every country holds foreign currencies. हम लोग के पास भी डॉलर है, हम लोग डॉलर में रखते हैं foreign currencies. So, which the government generally maintains to import petrol and other important items. Dropped to the levels that were not sufficient for even a fortnight. The government was not borrowing from abroad. मतलब क्या हुआ था 1990-91 में हम लोग के पास फॉरेन एक्सचेंज एकदम नहीं था, मतलब एकदम कम था. मतलब जितना था उस फॉरेन एक्सचेंज जितना फॉरेन एक्सचेंज हम लोग के पास था वो 15 डेज के हिसाब से था. मतलब अगर 15 डेज इंडिया को सस्टेन करने के लिए जितना चाहिए फॉरेन एक्सचेंज उतना ही था. We need foreign exchange because if we need to import petrol, if we need to import important items, we need to pay in terms of dollar, मतलब in foreign currency. हम लोग को foreign currency में pay करना पड़ता है. So we need to keep foreign exchange. But in 1990-91, it came down drastically. It was available only for 15 days, and this was a very critical situation at that time. So government adopted reform to raise the foreign exchange reserve. Sorry, not reform, this economic policy to raise the foreign exchange reserve. And at that time, in 1991, we have a huge burden of debt. मतलब एक्सपेंडिचर ज्यादा हो गया था रेवेन्यू के हिसाब से, इतना रेवेन्यू नहीं आ रहा था जितना एक्सपेंडिचर हो गया था. तो व्हेन एक्सपेंडिचर इज मच मोर देन द रेवेन्यू, हम लोग के पास क्या बचता, कोई कुछ भी तो नहीं बचता. सो व्हाट वी डिड, वी बोरोड मनी फ्रॉम बैंक्स, फ्रॉम पब्लिक, फ्रॉम IMF. We need to borrow money. I have explained with you all about the history why we borrowed money from IMF in my some earlier classes. So क्या हुआ, गवर्नमेंट के पास पैसा नहीं था उस समय 1991 में. After actually India was at that time is a very deteriorating country. We have the adverse POP, we have low foreign exchange, and we don't have money because our expenditure were very high. क्योंकि हम लोग को import ज़्यादा करना पड़ा and export नहीं हो रहा था. So our expenditures were much higher than the revenue we were earning. So we need to borrow money. When we borrow money, then it becomes a debt on us. मतलब जैसे अगर आप अपना खुद का अपना अगर बैंक से लोन लेते हो तो इट बिकम्स अ डेब्ट ऑन यू. यू नीड टू रिपे द लोन. आप टाइम देंगे, बैंक आप लोग को टाइम देंगे 5 साल में रिपे करो या 3 years में रिपे करो, लेकिन यू विल हैव टू रिपे. सेम केस इज विथ गवर्नमेंट ऑल्सो नीड टू रिपे. सो गवर्नमेंट के पास पैसा नहीं था, बहुत सारा लोन लिया हुआ था. सो उन सब में रिफॉर्म लाने के लिए पॉलिसीज लाया गया, इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसीज अडॉप्ट किया गया, एंड टू रिड्यूस इन्फ्लेशनरी प्रेशर. There was a consistent rise in the general price level in the economy. To control inflation, a new set of policies were required. मतलब बहुत महंगाई बढ़ गया था उन समय में. So to control all those महंगाई, there are several policies. So you see, the very first part of the question is asking us that discuss the objectives of new economic policy. Discuss the objectives of new economic policy. Anyone wants to ask anything?
Which public sector companies mainly create this type of situation?
Okay. Public sector companies, mainly the banks, the steel companies, they were incurring losses. The steel, iron, and steel industries were there, which were under government at that time. They were incurring losses because you see, there was no money in India, and there was, when there is no money in an economy, there is less demand. And when there is less demand, the production which they were doing is not being sold. So in that way, they were incurring losses, the iron and steel companies. And the banks were also not performing at that time. मतलब इतना अच्छा परफॉर्म नहीं कर पा रहा था बैंक्स, क्योंकि सेम प्रॉब्लम, when there is no money, there is no demand. When there is no demand, there is no business. And when there is no business, then banks also suffers. बैंक का काम क्या होता है, बैंक तो बिजनेस ही करते हैं ना, लोन देके कमाता है बैंक. दिस इज द इनकम व्हिच बैंक है. अगर लोन ही नहीं देंगे तो इनकम कहाँ से होगा बैंक का. सो दिस पब्लिक सेक्टर, एंड यू ऑल्सो नो ना, पब्लिक सेक्टर जब गवर्नमेंट इंटरवेंशन होते हैं पब्लिक सेक्टर में, उन लोग का क्या होता है टेंडेंसी कि सैलरी तो मिल जाएगा, हम लोग क्यों इतना हेडेक ले, सैलरी तो मिल ही रहा है हम लोग को, गवर्नमेंट तो पे कर रहा है. सो दे वर becoming inefficient in that sense. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the first part of the question was asking about the objectives. So we have discussed here the objectives. Now the second part of the question is asking how has the policy is successful in achieving these objectives. मतलब here we need to discuss the achievement. मतलब हुआ कि नहीं हुआ. These are the objectives that the new economic policy was having. Government was having introduced new economic policy with these objectives. Now, the second part is asking us that whether these policies were objectives were achieved or not. So now let us see. Again, I have put in here before. Is the slide visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So here you see achievement of new economic policy. ये पॉलिसी लाने की वजह से हम लोग का इंडिया में कैसा बदलाव आया, मतलब कैसा डेवलप हुआ. You see increase in national product. Before 1990, the growth rate of national income was 4.7%. On the implementation of new economic policy, growth rate reduced to 0.6%. देखिए ग्रोथ रेट रिड्यूस्ड हो गया, लेकिन in 1993-94 growth rate rose to 5%. मतलब 1990 में 4.7% था, लेकिन बट व्हेन द पॉलिसी, आप लोग रिलेट कर पाओगे किसी भी चीज एकदम, मतलब अगर सपोज बीमारी, आप लोग पैरासीटामोल का एग्जांपल ले लो, एकदम सिंपल सा. आपको बुखार हो गया, आप लोग एक पैरासीटामोल लेते हैं, मतलब डॉक्टर एडवाइस के यू गो एंड हैव योर पैरासीटामोल. After having the paracetamol, you will see that your temperature, instead of reducing, it increases first. Have you ever noticed that point? आप लोग ने कभी
Yes,
देखा?
ma'am.
हाँ. आप हम लोग जब बुखार होते हैं, किसी भी अगर बुखार अगर किसी भी पैरासीटामोल ले लो या कोई भी ले लो, हम लोग जब लेते हैं पहले, मतलब पहले कुछ आधे घंटे के बाद आप देखना, after having the tablet, you will see that your temperature, instead of decreasing, it increases. So same was the case when new economic policy was introduced. The growth rate before 1990 it was 4.7%, but on the implementation of new economic policy, growth rate reduced to 0.6%. मतलब ये थोड़ा कम हो गया, बढ़ना था लेकिन कम हो गया, कोई बात नहीं. फिर भी in 1993-94 growth rate rose to 5%. You see, from 4.7% it has increased up to 5%. And at 1994 prices, and in 1996-97 it rose to 8.2%. It rose to 8.2%. In 2000-2001 growth rate was witnessed to be 6.2%, but now again it was decreasing. But if you see, for implementation of this economic policy in 1996-97, it rose to 8.2%. So this is one of the achievement of our matlab benefit for the new economic policy. Second, economic policy, you all know what is the new economic policy and the LPG reforms and all. Government introduced liberalization, privatization and globalization policies. New economic policy is nothing but LPG reforms, LPG policies. So पहले क्या था, इंडिया वाज अ क्लोज्ड इकोनॉमी. बाहर से कोई नहीं आता, हम लोग बाहर नहीं हो जाएंगे, क्योंकि हम लोग के पास डर था एक बार जो ब्रिटिश आके कर गया वो फिर से ना हो. बट in 1991 India became an open economy and it has introduced the policies of LPG policies, what we call, that is liberalization, privatization and globalization. So due to these policies, foreign investment, with the implementation of a new economic policy, foreign capital investment has increased. In 1990, total foreign investment was $5133 million, and it increased to $6133 million. In 2003-04, foreign investment was $35.31 billion. You see, foreign investment got increased due to this LPG policy. क्योंकि जब हम लोग ओपन हो गए, मतलब हम लोग ने इन्वेस्टमेंट में जो licenses या rules हुआ करते हैं, government used to impose restrictions, we all removed those restrictions. And so foreign countries found us favorable for investment. उन लोग को लगा कि इंडिया में इन्वेस्ट करना अभी थोड़ा मुनाफा मिलेगा, इंडिया में इन्वेस्ट कर सकते हैं. But before 1991, they also didn't come for investment towards India because we had a huge restrictions in investment. बहुत सारे मतलब papers and this was policies were there which they need to follow while investing. But in 1991, due to this economic policy, we all became open. Now anyone can come and we can also go. So foreign investment also got increased. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Next, is the slide changing? Is the slide changing?
Please change this, ma'am.
Okay. So एग्रीकल्चर प्रोडक्शन में भी थोड़ा बदलाव आ गया, रिफॉर्म मतलब पॉलिसी की वजह से, न्यू इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी. Prior to implementation of these new reforms, growth rate of agricultural production was 3%. But in 1991-92, growth rate go down to 1.9%. The example of paracetamol. With the very first implementation, it came down. The growth rate came down. In 1995-96, growth rate of production stood at 6.6%. You see, for the implementation of reform, agricultural production has also increased. Foreign currency reserves. Here also, these are some data. New economic reforms have favorable effect on foreign currency. This is a data of 89-90, which is 6251 crore. 1995, it reserves it to 58,446 crore, and 34 it touched to 2,07,204 crore mark. So you see, due to these reforms, due to this LPG reforms and this new economic policy, foreign currency is increasing, agricultural production increasing, national product is national income is increasing, foreign investment is increasing. Fiscal deficit, the one we had before this economic policy, and because of this fiscal deficit, मतलब expenditure ज़्यादा हो रहा था, revenue कम आ रहा था. Because of this fiscal deficit only, the government वो new economic policy लाया था. Only because of removing this fiscal deficit, new economic policy was brought by government. You see, the main thrust of new economic policy is to bring down fiscal deficit to the extent of 3% of GDP. In 1991-92, fiscal deficit came down to 5.9% and further 5.2% in 92-93. No doubt, after implementation of economic policy, fiscal deficit has reduced, but government is still far away from its target. So, fiscal deficit अभी भी है इंडिया में, ऐसा नहीं कि अभी हम लोग फिस्कल सरप्लस है, अभी भी इंडिया में फिस्कल डेफिसिट है.
What is fiscal deficit?
Fiscal deficit is the difference between expenditure and income. मतलब आपके पास 100 रुपया है and you are spending 150 rupees a day. मतलब वो 50 rupees कहाँ से आया? आप किसी से उधार लिया. So you have a deficit of 50 rupees. This is the fiscal deficit of India also. गवर्नमेंट के पास भी मतलब एक्सपेंडिचर ज्यादा है, रेवेन्यू कम है. So when the government have more expenditure than their revenue, then the government is also facing this deficit. जैसे आपके पास 100 रुपया है and you are spending 150 by taking 50 rupees as loan from your friend. So मतलब आपके पास डेफिसिट है 50 रुपीज का. इस डेफिसिट को पूरा आपने कहाँ से किया? किसी से उधार लेके. वो रिटर्न भी करना है, वो आपका पैसा नहीं है, आपका डेफिसिट है 50 रुपीज. वैसे ही ठीक वैसे ही गवर्नमेंट का भी बात ऐसा है कि गवर्नमेंट के अगर एक्सपेंडिचर ज्यादा होते हैं और रेवेन्यू कम होते हैं तो गवर्नमेंट को भी बोरो करना पड़ता है टू मेंटेन दैट डेफिसिट. Am I clear? What is fiscal deficit?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this fiscal deficit was very high, and only because of this high fiscal deficit, economic policy was introduced. And after introduction of economic policy, fiscal deficit no doubt came down, but India is still far away from its target. अभी भी fiscal deficit, अगर fiscal deficit नहीं होते इंडिया पे तो हम लोग को लोन नहीं लेना पड़ता किसी भी कंट्री से. But we are now also taking loan from World Bank, IMF, and from other countries. So there is fiscal deficit now also. And अब कभी भी वो नील नहीं हो पाएगा. You see, आपके घर में, अगर आप आपके खुद की घर में देखो, कभी फिजिकल डेफिसिट हमेशा रहता ही है, जितना चाहिए। अगर इनकम भी बहुत ज्यादा हो, फिर भी हम लोग के सभी फैमिली में फिजिकल डेफिसिट रहते हैं। हम लोग हम लोग के पास अगर बहुत इनकम भी है, बहुत सारा पैसा भी है, फिर भी हम लोग लोन लेते हैं। Exceptional is the case of this black money holder. They will take loan only to make the black money white. But if you see the general, if you see the general people, आप लोग देखोगे कि सभी घर में फिजिकल डेफिसिट होते हैं। सभी घर में जितना भी इनकम हो, उसके हिसाब से डिमांड भी बढ़ जाता है, इसलिए फिजिकल डेफिसिट होते हैं। लेकिन you see, if a family earns an income of 1 lakh in India, to maintain a good, matlab a better life in India, to maintain a better life, having all food, shelter and all, for 1 month 1 lakh is more than enough. But then you see, the people who are earning 1 lakh per month also, they are also entrusting on loan for buying cars, for buying new house, for buying new properties, or for other investments. So always people have a deficit. This is a tendency of people, क्योंकि हम लोग के इनकम के हिसाब से हम लोग का डिमांड भी बढ़ता जा रहा है। अगर पहले इनकम था 50,000, देन वी विल राइड अ बाइक ऑफ एटलीस्ट 70,000 या 1 लाख। अगर किसी भी कारण अगर इनकम डबल हो जाता है, वी विल हैव अ डिमांड ऑफ टेकिंग अ बेनेली, or we will have a demand of taking a bike of 12 lakhs or something like that. So this is why fiscal deficit is there. So now in India also there is fiscal deficit, and it is not, it is far away from target, because fiscal deficit is not a good thing. Fiscal deficit is bad thing. It should not be there. But you see, this is again a part. And if you see the imports were also increased. Here I will not explain. You see, if you go through this point, you will understand. Implementation of new economic policy, growth rate of import declined 11% against 22%. But in 1992-93, it jumped to 32.4%. So you see, these are data. These are nothing to be explained. Deregulation of interest rate. पहले क्या था? Interest rate has been deregulated as a part of money market reform. Bank rate has been reduced to 6%. Cash reserve ratio was reduced. मतलब रिफॉर्म की वजह से क्या हुआ? पहले बैंक रेट भी ज्यादा था, एंड यू ऑल नो, आई सपोज, व्हाट इज बैंक रेट, व्हाट इज कैश रिजर्व रेशियो, because as you have cleared your prelims, you have come overall through this, the bank rate, cash reserve ratio, SLR
Cash
and all.
reserve ratio can again explain, ma'am.
Okay, cash reserve ratio is just a part of amount that bank need to maintain. मतलब बैंक के पास जितना कैश होगा, सपोज एक दिन में, सपोज यू टेक द एग्जांपल ऑफ टुडे, अगर किसी भी बैंक के पास सपोज आज 1 crore rupees cash 1 crore rupees, today if a party comes and asks for a loan of 1 crore, we cannot give that 1 crore as loan to the people, that loan to any party, because we have only 1 crore cash with us. And according to Reserve Bank, the cash reserve ratio was, now I एकदम recent, मुझे पता नहीं है कितना परसेंट है, देखना पड़ेगा, but it was 4 point, it will be around 4.5% only. So out of that 1 crore, I need to keep at least 40 lakhs. Sorry, not 40 lakhs. Out of that 1 crore, I need to keep at least 4-5 lakhs as with me, and I can lend the other part, that is 96%, that is 95.5% as loan. मतलब कैश रिजर्व रेशियो इज दैट रेशियो, अगर हम लोग के पास, अगर यू कंसिडर यू योरसेल्फ एज ए बैंक, अगर आप एक मनी लेंडर, ओके, यू आर ए मनी लेंडर, कंसिडर योरसेल्फ एज ए मनी लेंडर फॉर सम टाइम, अगर आपके पास 1 लाख रुपया है, you cannot lend मतलब मनी लेंडर तो इनफॉर्मल है, तो यू कैन लैंड, बट बैंक के बारे में अगर बात करते हैं, बैंक में तो बहुत सारे रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस है ना आरबीआई का। सो आरबीआई का रूल के हिसाब से इफ अ बैंक हैव 1 lakh, he cannot lend the entire 1 lakh to as loan. He need to keep out of that 1 lakh, he need to keep at least 50,000, sorry, not 50,000, at least 5,000 as reserve. He can give the entire 95,000 to the people, but he should keep 5,000 with him. It is a rule given by Reserve Bank. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
मैम
So,
जो क्वेश्चन आपने जो अभी डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं उसमें जब हम लिखेंगे तो सब में इसी तरफ डाटा ही देते हैं, और इस
हाँ
तरफ डाटा जी
हाँ
इतना
हाँ हाँ,
इतना।
डाटा लिखिए आप लोग, क्योंकि डाटा लिखने से आंसर, मैंने बोला ना आपको, क्वालिटी इंक्रीज हो जाता है आंसर का। आप लोग मतलब एग्जामिनर को क्या मतलब, जैसे आप लोग डाटा पुट करते हो तो एग्जामिनर को लगेगा कि ओके दिस गाय हैज गॉन थ्रू अ डेप्थ एनालिसिस, दिस गाय हैव गॉन थ्रू अ डेप्थ स्टडी। ओके,
यस मैम।
इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी, नेसेसरी नहीं है कि लिखना ही है, मतलब लिखने से आंसर का क्वालिटी इंक्रीज हो जाता है। वही बात मैंने बोल रही थी कि
Okay.
जितना हो सके, किसी में अगर नहीं पता है, आप भूल गए मत लिखो। ऐसा बात नहीं है कि नहीं लिखने से कुछ गलत हो जाए, गलत नहीं होगा, पर इफ यू कैन, लेकिन भूल डाटा कभी मत लिखो।
Okay, ma'am.
अगर याद नहीं है तो मत लिखो, लेकिन भूल डाटा मत लिखो, क्योंकि एग्जामिनर तो कंपेयर नहीं करेगा, मतलब यू नेवर नो ना। भूल मतलब अगर कोई एकदम पूरा एग्जामिनर पढ़ के आए, मतलब इसमें अगर वो भी एनालाइज मतलब लेफ्ट स्टडी करके आए, तो ही विल डेफिनेटली गेट एंग्री इफ यू गिव रॉन्ग डाटा। सो डीरेगुलेशन ऑफ इंटरेस्ट रेट हो गया, इंटरेस्ट रेट कम हो गया, इंटरेस्ट रेट कम होने की वजह से इन्वेस्टमेंट बढ़ गया, पीपल केम फॉरवर्ड फॉर इन्वेस्टमेंट। इन्वेस्टमेंट मतलब इंटरेस्ट रेट कम होने से हम लोग लोन लेंगे, लोन लेके इन्वेस्ट करेंगे। सो कंट्रोल ऑफ इन्फ्लेशन, द न्यू इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी ट्राइड टू मेंटेन द प्राइस लेवल। मतलब इन्फ्लेशन मतलब क्या है, महंगाई, एंड इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी ट्राइड टू मेंटेन दैट महंगाई। The rate of inflation was 17%. In 1997-98, it fell down to 4.9%. In 2002-1, the inflation is 3%. Now, actually, the ideal inflation should be around 2-3% only. क्योंकि देखिए इन्फ्लेशन नहीं होने से भी इकोनॉमी नहीं चलेगा। यू सी, इन्फ्लेशन थोड़ा चाहिए भी। आप लोग ने पढ़ा होगा इन्फ्लेशन, जब पढ़े हुए होंगे, that the creeping inflation, galloping inflation, hyperinflation, you have come all through this point. So इन्फ्लेशन थोड़ा जरूरी भी है, थोड़ा महंगाई भी जरूरी है, तभी तो मार्केट मिलेगा आपको कुछ भी गुड अगर प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए। सो बहुत महंगाई हुआ करता था। यू सी 1991 just 17%. So now it had came down to 3%. So inflation was also under control only because of this new economic policy. So in the conclusion, what we will write from the above discussion, we can conclude that India has achieved much out of economic reform policies it adopted, and little failure, and the little failure, थोड़ा तो फेलियर होगा ही, ऐसा तो नहीं है कि सब में 100% मिलेगा, suffered could be corrected by adopting proper strategy in this regard. So in this way, we will end our answer. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what you all do, these whatever I have discussed, these 3 answers, you all go through it after getting it as a PDF. You will be most probably getting it in Google Classroom or if you have any Telegram channel. I don't know, sir, Shankar sir will give it to you. So after getting this PDF, you will go through this